Back in 2021, an idea was born for what would be called the American Monoposto Championship. In its inaugural season, the 2022 American Monoposto Championship turned out to be an entertaining, thrilling, but also sometimes controversial and certainly not perfect first outing for the ORSL. But in any case, those who watched it, and certainly those who participated in it, will remember the inaugural season of the ORSL's top-tier open-wheel championship. So let's tell you the story of the 2022 AMC, hosted by the Online Racing Super League. Yeah, that's apparently a thing that people sometimes confuse, that the AMC is hosted by the ORSL, and the ORSL itself is not really a championship, but the league hosting I bet. Race 1. The AMC is not only an Automobilista Championship built on American single-seaters from the late 90s, but also a project built on storytelling. And the story which presented itself throughout the first 3 races of the championship happened to be that of Kevin Peters being the dominant force of the series. Peters clinched the first 3 rounds of the AMC and not only showed incredible pace, but also astounding consistency. While he was a definite cut above the rest during the season opener at Long Beach, both Interlagos and Rio could have been won by other drivers purely based on their pace. But while Jan Winter threw away a potential win in Rio, both Alexander Knežević and González Cotivo made crucial mistakes in Interlagos. Therefore, the calm and collected Peters was considered the man to beat.
The track, he retires, and therefore the first safety car of the race is deployed.
Montreal threw a bit of a wrench into the title race. Peters' engine exploded, which meant that Alexander Knežević, the Bosnian veteran racing for Rodilo, threw himself straight into the conversation for the title. Both his teammate Jan Winter and his old adversary González Cotivo also joined the party. While Winter is a young and talented racer looking to further his career, Cotivo might have competed in his final season in sim racing. But even after Canada, the ball was still in Peters' court, for now at least. Michigan happened to be the first proper oval race in the American Monoposto Championship and became quite a race of attrition. Who loses it, puts it into the wall, and that's the very first safety car of the day. There's Peter Rule with an engine failure. We see a huge crash, Bartosz Kapeta once again in the wall. While Winter would lose the victory due to a pit lane infringement, Peters had finally found himself a competitive teammate in the form of Aaron Smith. And yet, Knežević won his second race in a row, building momentum in the title hunt. Knežević trying to counter on the inside. Doesn't get any draft from Smith, obviously, though he's ahead of Peters once again. The winner of the 5th round of the American Monoposto Championship, second win in a row for Alexander Knežević, and boy, it was a tough one. Cotivo? Well, he made another crucial mistake which made the championship challenge more and more unlikely for him. However, he misses the pit entry and therefore crashes into the pit lane and ends his race very early. Very disappointing for González Cotivo. Road America happened to be a great day for Simon Korb, that's me, the narrator, who happens to be an ORSL admin. He finished second behind a victorious and joyful Jan Winter, who became more and more of an outside candidate for the title, while Knežević raced from Greece while being on vacation using a laptop and his world-famous 100 Deutschmark Momo wheel. Peters made an uncharacteristic mistake, chucking his car into the barrier. The championship leader with a crucial mistake! Kevin Peters, just like Johannes Michel earlier, chucking it into the barrier. Max Heyman says, "Thank you very much." After Road America, only 4 points would separate Peters and Knežević, with Winter only 22 points behind the championship leader.
I need you again.
Laguna Seca would prove to chuck Jan Winter out of the title battle when his front wing and the barrier decided to go for a little smooch. And Winter bends it! Winter loses his front wing, and that might just spell the end to his championship dreams! Otherwise, Aaron Smith continued to impress, fighting his teammate's championship rival, though he'd not succeed in keeping Knežević behind. Then again, he let Peters through to allow him to get P2, so in a way he succeeded in his role. Now, Knežević had taken the championship lead and the American Monoposto Championship was headed for its biggest and most controversial race yet. That is when we went to Daytona. I apologize for that. Essentially, the race had been the most entertaining of the entire season. Loads of overtaking, great duels, chaos everywhere. It was great. And then the stewards had discovered that loads of people had breached a pit lane rule in regards to where people were supposed to enter the pits. Discussions broke out. People left the series. An air of anger and frustration fell over the league, and in the midst of all of that, Kevin Peters made another crucial mistake in the title fight. And there's another car off, and that's Kevin Peters! Peters chucks it into the wall, and that might just cost him this year's American Monoposto Championship. Yet, it wasn't going to hurt his position in the championship, seeing as Knežević was one of the drivers who'd received penalties, which meant that now Peters was in the lead of the championship once again, though, if you will, in somewhat controversial fashion. But things were going to get even more chaotic when Kevin Peters discovered that round 9 of the championship was going to be held on the fictional street circuit of San Francisco, which is when he quit the championship, partially because of that. With the championship leader leaving the series and both Kativo and Winter essentially out of the picture, the title fight had ended in an anticlimax. While mathematically the championship wasn't going to be decided until Fontana, Alexander Knežević had essentially become the 2022 American Monoposto Champion. And while the end to the season was definitely disappointing for everybody involved, Alexander Knežević is, without a shadow of a doubt, a deserving American Monoposto Champion.
Two souls colliding. We shared the pieces of ourselves.
Other than the main contenders, there are multiple people who impressed throughout the entire American Monoposto Championship. Drivers like James Early, Josh Cassar, Gino Gaggiano, Aaron Curtis, or Max Heyman showed that on their day, they could perform incredibly well. Heyman's case is especially interesting considering that ahead of the season he'd stated that he had not won a single race in online sim racing. And at the final race at Fontana, he finally managed to clinch set first victory. Now the question is, what does the future hold for the ORSL and the drivers involved? Some of them are not part of the ORSL anymore, others are looking to rebound and to improve on what they've already achieved in the AMC. And an answer might be around the corner with the upcoming WMSC3 World Tour, an upcoming junior Formula Series promoting the International Board of Sim Racing, i.e. the umbrella of which the ORSL is a part of. It's a bit complicated, but we'll explain in the future, but trust me, please. Okay. Until then, there's a few people I've got to thank for the very first season of the American Monoposto Championship. First and foremost, that would be Jim from JustRace.net, who helped us out with multiple things regarding server issues, technical difficulties, generally just helping us out in every regard he could, and allowing us to run on AMSU servers for the entire season. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Please check out JustRace.net if you want to compete in other Automobilista 1 championships outside of the ORSL bubble. Furthermore, I'd like to thank Josh Cassar for conceptualizing this with me, helping me out in every regard, and being an incredibly kind and honest person to work with. And finally, other than just thanking everybody who participated in the American Monoposto Championship, I want to thank you. Yes, you sitting there in front of your screen or holding your phone while you're I don't know, taking a shit. I don't judge you. For watching the videos, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, everything. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, honestly. You know, there's this famous Michael Schumacher quote that says, "Life is all about passions, thank you for sharing mine," and I think it's quite befitting for this occasion, isn't it? Sim racing is a passion of ours. Otherwise, I wouldn't invest countless hours into producing these videos trying to push storytelling further in online sim racing. And if it weren't a passion, people wouldn't put countless hours into practicing tracks over and over and over again, trying to fine-tune their setup to the absolute maximum. If it weren't a passion, most of us probably wouldn't be here right now. And I hope that with the WMSC3 World Tour and everything that's coming in 2023, we as the ORSL can carry that passion forward. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. Thank you for an incredibly fun season. And, of course, keep racing.